All right, so we're going to kickstart the I Am Me podcast for 2025 with someone who's been championing from the boardrooms right through to world stages, the one and only Bettina Schaller, who is the president of the World Employment Confederation. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for organizing this day and bringing us together.
I mean, welcome to South Africa.
Yes.
I want to kickstart the conversation with something fun. When packing for a trip, like coming to South Africa, what is that one thing that you just had to have in your bag?
Well, quite important for me, and it will surprise you, I think, mainly if you get a visual of me, are the earrings. The earrings just need to fit the vibe. And,
yes.
I'm a tall lady, blessed by nature there, but somehow they are the ones that give me that special kick for the day. So I put a lot of thought into my earrings.
Now, this is I Am Me 2025, and this is the summit, and you've worked across so many different regions, championing employment and just kind of building bridges between employers and employees. What have you seen kind of with people and the work that they do and inclusion that has surprised you the most?
What's surprising me these days is that we are still not where we should be, even though this work has been going on for many, many years, and even though in many countries there are laws, there are frameworks that should allow for inclusion to flourish, that should allow for people, independently of what they believe in, of where they come from, what they look like, of what their preferences are, of their religion, any actual specificity to access work and to access the labor market. So, maybe I shouldn't say it in the context of surprise, because it's actually a reality that is starting to upset me for the detriment of the people themselves, of course, the talent themselves. But it also doesn't make sense economically and politically. We need everybody on board these days in most countries. Also in the context of technology and AI, but that human factor to have people in the workforce is more important than ever. And we know that people from all diverse backgrounds make teams stronger and contribute more to productivity and competitiveness.
Also having different perspectives, I can imagine, helps us get to the goal much quicker. But also on that note, what would you say are some of the misconceptions that would be holding back employers in 2025? There's been so much education that has gone on as far as, people working together, people who are differently abled, people from different backgrounds and communities. What are some of those misconceptions that you would say are holding employers back in kind of creating those bridges?
Look, employers are held back these days because of the thinking they still have on degrees and titles and associating the execution of work and a role to that, right? So this is the biggest hurdle, which actually should be in favor of inclusion, because anybody can, go out and make that degree. But when it comes to then actually engaging in the recruitment process, we see that having your mind stuck on that degree and role piece usually overtakes whatever else the person brings to the table. And so it's a mindset shift that we need today, and where there's an acceptance from employers that their skills and the skills that diversely abled people can bring to the table as well, that are going to make the difference.
And for an employer that's watching this who does not want to even open themselves and their doors to diversity, what is your word to them? How would you urge them and kind of encourage them to bring it in?
It's unfathomable for me. I don't know, to even think that an employer wouldn't see the advantages. And as a matter of fact, probably too many people are in their comfort zone and surrounding themselves by the usual suspects, by people that look like them, think like them, act like them. So it's that getting out of your comfort zone, putting yourself in situations, reaching out, and opening yourself. But if you dig further and ask me, well, how do you get that? You know, we see sometimes that when an unusual occurrence happens in somebody's life, right? And unfortunately, sometimes they're negative experiences. Then this type of mindset change actually manages to flourish. I wouldn't wish that on people who are stuck in their minds. I would hope that somehow they find a déclic, as we say in French, to change their mindset. But there's no way around that.
Now, as we wrap it up, last year we did it, and I feel like this year would be also good if we did it. I want to wrap up our conversation with I am me because.
I am me because of all the incredible influences that I have in my life. And that I have the privilege of calling part of my life.
That's incredible. Thank you so much, Bettina.
Thank you.
That's, of course, the president of the Employment Confederation. She's been championing equity and inclusion where it matters most. And thank you so much for coming through and having this conversation with us. May you keep championing inclusion and equity where it matters the most.
Thank you so much. I shall with all of us and all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.